Look, I think, what really depresses me, and the reason I ran for this show today is that the fact is that, somebody's got to be held accountable. There is far too many inconsistencies now in the system. And all the phone calls that we're hearing is that finally they blame the referee in the ring for calling the wrong shots. Okay, so if the referee is guilty, why is the boxer being penalized? That's point number one, because he is actually working for the AIBA. This actually just lets you know that AIBA certainly calls the shots. And this happens in ICC, FIFA. Happening in Olympics, this is not a good way. What Jai Bhagwan just told you is a clear indication that this does happen. There is a lobby, there is a power play. And this American boxer was the last American hope. Come on, right. For God's sake. And America is no pushover nation. When there's one American life at stake in Afghanistan, they'll send 10,000 troops and kill 100 people to get one guy out. So, and also what really depressed me last night when I was watching the bout was, is there a sporting spirit in the Olympics left or not? The crowd was booing the victory of the Indian boxer. That was heard. So I personally believe that if the system says the referee in the ring was inappropriate, so the 5 judges on the ring were blind, and then there's another jury, and then there is AIBA, and then who's going to hold AIBA guilty for this whole process? And this depresses Vikas' father said on TV this morning that he's not going to let his son box ever again. Absolutely. And it takes 14 years to get to the ring to try and represent your nation and hopefully win a medal. So this is not about, let's just get it over with.
Exactly, yeah.
Look, you know what happened to the commentators. It was called the daylight robbery.
Yeah.
I think it is about lobbying. Let's get practical about it. This is not a small platform. And my concern, of course, is with what happened with Vikas. Because, between the whole boxing contingent, with all the 7 boxers, Vikas was picked to be the gold. For sure. I'm telling you.
He's the only one who got a buy, right?
Tell you, yeah. He's the guy. Now my concern is, okay, this incident has happened. Now will India, for God's sake, unite and call the shots like Boria said? You're going to fight in the next couple of hours. Are you going to really go there and make a hue and cry that this is not right? Hold on. We're not discussing the technicalities of the bout and the referee. We're talking about AIBA taking a call. AIBA has taken a very harsh call in this case, but they didn't take it in the Sumit Sangwan case. Second concern now is that you've got 4 other medal hopes in boxers now. You know what's going to happen to their hands? Their hands are going to shake. They're going to shake. They're going to say, it doesn't matter how well I fight for the country. Will the country actually lobby for me when it really matters, when the hand is going to be raised in the ring? India has a knack, We make large things into small, and America makes small things into big. Now let me put something very controversial to the table, and you'll understand why I'm so passionate and really angry about this. The boxing IBF, the federation, and the boxers are relentlessly working to become a global force. And that's the truth. And that's the reason I plunged myself in Milan when I went there for the World Championships, and Vijender won a medal. You'll be shocked. I was there myself. The foreigner media crew called for the Indian contingent. This is exactly 3.5 years ago, okay? And they had one of Indian contingent picture. Mr. Sandhu was there. Mr. Raja was there. Same team was there. Guess what? The photographer said, where's the team? So Sandhu said, this is the team. He says, don't they wear similar clothes for the national team? Guess what? They didn't even have uniforms. Just 3.5 years ago, the World Championship. This is IBF, but IBF has come a long way with all of us together, and the boxers are charged up. Now understand one point. This year, amateur boxing, the headgear is going to go off. AIBA is going to take the headgear off now, in the next couple of months. That means boxing is going to be a massive play. Indian boxers are not geared for pro boxing. They're not being trained yet. Okay? Now understand the consequences of America's play in professional boxing when the headgear comes off. So AIBA actually really wants to keep this play in a different league. This is a lobbying commercial thought. Hold on. It may be even 1%, but even 1% goes a long way when it comes to national pride. And
you have a question for you, Boria.
What stops Mr. Boria, what stops Mr. Markin while Mr. Sandhu and Brigadier Raja are working on within the rules of AIBA? What stops Mr. Markin from making a national protest to the Olympic Federation per se? Because the inconsistencies seem to be quite consistent, to be honest. And like Mr. Sandhu said, this has never happened in the history before. So if there is more than meets the eye, which we all understand that there seems to be in the Sangwan and Vikas's case, then why doesn't Mr. Markin actually make a protest to the Federation per se? Because this seems to be a global issue. It's just not another incident that's just, by the way, going to be pushed over.
See, I don't think anything stops Mr. Markin from doing so. In fact, Mr. Markin was the one who raised the protest after Sumit Sangwan lost that bout. He was the one who paid the $500. I've been trying to get in touch with him from morning. I'm sure I'm going to get in touch with him soon after the show. I was busy trying to talk to the other boxers and finding out what is going on. But I don't think anything stops Mr. Markin from creating and lodging an official protest. As the sports minister of the country, he is very much within his rights to do so. And he's come here as a National Olympic Committee representative. So nothing stops him from doing so. He was there himself. He was the one who sort of forced the hand of Muralidharan Raja and some of the other officials in Sumit Sangwan's case. I'm fairly confident he should do it in this case as well. But the question is, will that work? I mean, you guys were all right when you said, you know, our other boxers need to be given confidence. But when I just spoke to Mr. Sandhu, he was shaken.
Yeah,
he said
I
he's
told
never
you,
heard
yeah.
it in his life that
That's
a
what I'm
verdict
trying
was
to tell you.
actually overturned.
True.